Mason Pettits, portrayed by Cena, initially aspired to be a lawyer but abandoned law school for a more unconventional path, enlisting in the U.S. Army. Excelling in training, he joined the Special Forces, finding love with Jenny and fathering Casey. During a mission in Paonia, South America, targeting dictator Juan Venegas, Mason's team is wiped out, leaving him severely injured. Forced to return home, he embarks on rebuilding his law career. This narrative, likely from a film or TV show, encapsulates Pettits' journey through military service, love, loss, and the subsequent rekindling of his legal ambitions. Years after the tumultuous events in Paonia, Mason, Cena, and Jenny find themselves in a mundane suburban routine. The monotony is disrupted when Mason's ex-boss, Sebastian Earl, now heading the private security firm CDI, approaches him. Sebastian proposes a job, safeguarding a journalist on a mission to interview the once-targeted dictator, Venegas, in Paonia. Despite Mason's reluctance, fueled by his lingering resentment towards Venegas for his comrades and demise, Sebastian persuades him with a tempting $20,000 offer. This entices Mason to re-enter the dangerous world he had tried to leave behind. Confronting domestic discord with Jenny, Mason delves into researching Claire Wellington, an award-winning journalist tarnished by a fact-checking scandal. Amidst marital strife, Jenny and Mason in #39's clash leads to him agreeing to move out. Jenny, angered by the peril Mason faces on the mission, discovers his risky decision but is unable to dissuade him. Undeterred, Mason embarks on the journey with Claire, unraveling a complex situation in Paonia. Claire reveals that the elusive Venegas has finally agreed to an interview, offering her a chance at redemption. As Mason and Claire fly to Paonia, their alliance unfolds against the backdrop of personal and professional redemption, setting the stage for a high-stakes mission. In Paonia, Claire and Mason arrive, greeted by Venegas at the airport. Despite Claire and Venegas sharing a connection through a mutual acquaintance, tensions simmer beneath the surface as the citizens in #39. Disdain for Venegas becomes apparent. En route to Venegas in #39 estate, the convoy is ambushed by militants, decimating his security detail. Mason takes charge, eliminating the attackers and earning Venegas in gratitude. Venegas discloses the attack as an attempted coup, fostering an uneasy alliance. While Mason urges leaving, Claire, driven by journalistic determination, insists on staying to cover the unfolding political turmoil. The stage is set for a complex narrative, blending personal motives with the high-stakes political unrest in this unpredictable and dangerous environment. Amidst the perilous Paodonian jungle, Colonel Jan Cohorst receives grim news of the team and demise, prompting Mason, Claire, and Venegas to navigate the hostile terrain. Desperate for assistance, Mason contacts Sebastian for a rescue plan, directing them to a clearing. Simultaneously, Venegas discovers his nephew Jorge's treachery in orchestrating the assassination attempt to seize power. As Mason and Claire await extraction, mercenaries ambush them, leading to a harrowing chase through the jungle. Mason, displaying formidable combat skills, fends off the attackers, and in a surprising twist, Venegas intervenes to thwart a final assailant. Amidst conflicting motives and a career-altering opportunity, Mason and Claire's survival hangs in the balance, weaving a tense narrative of betrayal, political intrigue, and the struggle for journalistic integrity in the heart of danger. Jorge and Cohorst strategize, with Cohorst revealing displeasure from clients over Venegas' survival and threatening Jorge's life if the task remains incomplete. Meanwhile, Mason confides in Claire, disclosing that due to age and disillusionment with his legal career, this mission marks his final foray into danger. As Mason grapples with personal disappointments and a fractured marriage, the unfolding plot intensifies, casting shadows on alliances and motivations. The convergence of Mason's introspection and the escalating threats against Venegas creates a backdrop of suspense and personal reckoning in this high-stakes narrative of loyalty, betrayal, and the enduring toll of a life defined by conflict. Venegas takes Mason and Claire to the small village where he grew up, and where the locals admire him. Claire conducts and films her interview with Venegas, in which he admits his presidency has been backed for a long time by outside forces who wanted to exploit the country's natural metal resources, but who have not been happy by Venegas's renewed desire for independence and to better the lives of Paodonians over foreign interest. Claire comes onto Mason in their bedroom, but he rejects her advances. Mason calls Sebastian to try to understand the situation and learns his real mission was to assassinate Venegas, but Jorge decides to change the plans. Sebastian explains that South Africans, led by Cohorst, want to take control of the Paodonian resources. As Cohorst and his forces close in on the village, Mason, Claire, and Venegas mount a desperate escape on horseback. In the chaotic pursuit, Mason and Venegas manage to elude capture, but Claire is seized by Cohorst. Amidst the tension, Venegas confides in Mason, admitting awareness of Jorge's assassination plot, and clarifying that the death of Mason's comrades resulted from friendly fire by rival contractors, not Venegas' forces. A surprising revelation unfolds as Venegas discloses his affiliation with the opposition leader and exposes a strategic alliance wherein he funds rebels to fuel nationalism for political leverage. The intricacies of betrayal, secrets, and political machinations deepen the complexity of their perilous situation. Sebastian helps Mason broker a trade with the South Africans for Claire's return. Before Venegas can be taken, a crowd of angry Paonians show up and attack the mercenaries. Venegas, Mason, and Claire sneak into the palace with Claire live streaming from her phone. Venegas and Jorge reconcile, but General Martinez arrives and shoots Venegas. Venegas isn't harmed and kills Martinez, but Jorge dies from a stray bullet. The Paonian military and South African mercenaries arrive. Venegas gives a passionate speech that convinces the military to fight with him, and a firefight ensues. As Claire films, Mason and Cohorst battle. Cohorst reveals he is the one that killed Mason's men. Claire saves Mason's life by knocking Cohorst unconscious, and Mason fights the remaining mercenaries. Sebastian arrives with a group of backup forces that finally drive the South Africans out. Global news broadcasts detail the tumultuous events in Paonia, featuring Claire and courageous footage. In the aftermath, Venegas resigns as president, announcing upcoming free elections and a substantial commitment to Paonia's health and education. Mason, returning home, reunites with his family, fostering a renewed connection with Jenny and Casey. A surprising twist unfolds as Mason discovers a $5 million gift from Venegas. This unexpected windfall prompts Mason to prioritize family, recognizing a newfound sense of purpose. The narrative concludes with Mason choosing to invest his time in the meaningful pursuit of familial bonds, marking a poignant resolution to his journey.